Okay, so this is what it looks like once it's fully assembled. I don't have the magnets in just yet. That'll be in an upcoming video that I'll show you how to put the magnets in, how to put the coils in. But I just wanted to show you kind of what the finished thing looks like. And when I turn this on, I have it on its slowest speed, so it's only going about 200 RPMs right now. So we can test anything from 200 RPMs all the way up to 3,000 RPMs with the drill press. And that's a good reason why I like to use it. It's pretty quiet, it spins really nicely, and if I zoom in here on this, then you will actually be able to see the spacing that I have here. And I'm just going to take the camera here and show you kind of the spacing that I have here, which isn't very much. We've got very tight tolerances. That's why we trued up our rotor, so that when it spins, that our tolerances can be shown there. And if I go kind of from the top, you can really see how close everything is, and we can get extremely close on our tolerances. And that's part of the beauty of this system. And so that's pretty much the work. And I hope that you've enjoyed the build on this as much as I've enjoyed building it. But we've got to put some magnets in here and test our couple of different sizes. We're going to test a couple of different types of coils, and we're going to see if this entire build was worth it. So we're going to show some power ratings of voltage and amperage draw. And if anybody's wondering why yellow and green are my favorite colors, and they show up well on camera as well. So I have three favorite colors: yellow, green, and royal purple. So I'm kind of a John Deere fan, so I figured it would be fitting to Okay, so I'm going to show you how to put together our test blocks in our pattern so that you can see that in a little bit more detail. Again, we're using the rectifier, and this is a 200 volt 4 amp rectifier, so it'll be good for testing each phase of our coil. Now what you can see here is this is going to be the input part, this is going to be the output AC, this is going to be the output DC. And how this is put together is in a couple of steps. You'll see that I've bent the contacts on our rectifier. And coming into it from the back, which is coming off of our coil, of course, is AC. So we're going to feed the AC into that side of our rectifier. And then this side here is going to be the DC side. So that's how that's going to be setting inside of our little circuit here. Now we have some wires in our wire block, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble those, and what you can see is these two wires are the exact same as the wires that are coming off of our coil, and these are the wires that are coming off of the upper part of our coil. So you'll see that, and I'm going to go ahead and just reposition the camera just a little bit so that you can kind of see where it's coming down off of our coil block, which is this part here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just do a little bit of assembly. It's really simple. We're just going to take this wire here and we're going to put it inside of our wire block, so it's going to make contact. And we're going to take this wire, put it inside of our wire block like this, so that it's going to make contact. And then we're going to take the AC sides of our bridge rectifier, and we're going to stick those inside the contact block. And once all of that is in there and setting how we want it to, then we'll go ahead and tighten down these screws. And that's our first screw. And we'll make sure that we get everything together. And there you have our second screw. So you can see how our wires are coming out of there now. So this is our input from our coil. and it transfers into this side where we've put our wires. One half of it is going so that we'll have our power coming out of our DC side, and the other side of the power is going so that we just have a direct AC link. Okay, so that's how that's going to work. And so what I'll do is I'll go ahead and attach the AC side, which is these screw blocks here. And we will attach those the very same way. And we'll just tighten down our blocks here. Just like that. Okay, so we have all of that installed now. And so you can see that our AC side of our circuit is now complete. Now we'll go ahead and attach our DC side. And that's just the same simplicity. You just take your sections, plug them inside of the block, and then we'll tighten that down. Make sure that your contacts are tight, but you don't have to do too overly tight with them, just until they're snug and then just a little turn more. Okay, so there you can see our finished block as it was shown in the last video. So you can see how our wires and our contacts are made. We have our DC output, we have our AC output, we have our AC input. And that's as simple as it is to make that block style. Now, in bending the terminals on any electronic device, what I recommend that you do if you're bending any terminals is to use a pair of needle nose or soft grip pliers, and you will grab the wire as shown here and then bend the wire against your tool. Okay? And what that does is that takes the pressure off of the circuitry inside of whatever it is, because sometimes the potting compound that they use here is not really that strong, and if you try and bend or twist on it, then you are going to cause fractures in here and possibly make it so that your electronic component is not going to work correctly. If you have to make a double bend, then of course you're going to grab that where you need to bend it and then bend it again, but always make sure you're supporting the wire into your bend, and that'll help so that you won't damage your electronic components. That's just a little tip there. Okay. So now I'm going to show you our next step, which is how we're going to attach this particular unit to our coil. Now, in the block here, I don't have the coil set just yet.